Superman, Raggedy Andy, and Taylor Swift all they loved living together. They did everything together, and most importantly, they liked to cook together. And one day they decided they wanted to make pumpkin pie. So they went to the garden to plant some pumpkin seeds. And they planted, they weeded, they watered, they made sure the pumpkin was going to be really healthy, and then they stood back and watched it grow. And it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew, and it grew some more, until Halloween was just hours away. So they decided to take the pumpkin off the vine so that they could make pumpkin pie. So they went to their pumpkin patch, and they reached out to pull, and they pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled. First they pulled hard, then they pulled harder, but the pumpkin just sat. Well, what are we going to do? No pumpkin pie? We live on a pretty busy street, though, don't we? Think people walk down this street? You hear some people? Maybe there's some coming down. Let's see. Oh, some knights. Oh, great. A unicorn and a kangaroo. Oh, I know they can help. You know, they saw the pumpkin and they said,
"Big pumpkin, it's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away. We're bigger than you and stronger too.
But they thought about pumpkin pie, so they stepped aside, and these guys tried to pick the pumpkin off the vine. They pulled, and they tugged, and they pulled. First they pulled hard, then they pulled harder, but the pumpkin just sat. Oh. Thank you.
They're going away.
She needs a Joey. Here comes a Joey, Michael. She got it, right? Okay. Well, you guys, still no pumpkin. Do you hear more people? Oh, I hope so. Oh, look who we have. We have a witch, a blue Doppa doggie, and 2 more witches. This is great. They see the pumpkin and they said, so great.
Big pumpkin, it's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is hours away.
But they thought about pumpkin pie, so they stepped aside. These guys reached down to pull the pumpkin off the vine. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled. First they pulled hard, then they pulled harder, but the pumpkin just sat. Oh, what are you going to do now?
Bye! What's the pumpkin?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Wasn't that nice of them? That was so nice. Well, but we still don't have a pumpkin. Do you hear more people? Oh, let's hope so. It is a pretty busy street, isn't it? It's a cobra snake, a Boba Fett, a skunk, and Batman. Oh, you know they can do it, right, guys? But they see the pumpkin and they said,
"Big pumpkin." But it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just hours away.
But they thought about pumpkin pie. So they stepped aside and, now you get to try to take that pumpkin off the vine. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled. First they pulled hard, then they pulled harder, but the pumpkin just sat. Now what are you guys going to do? Oh, bye. Thank you. Wasn't that nice? Do you hear more people? We need more people. Maybe. Oh yes, there is a wolf and a bat, a ninja, and Rapunzel. You know, I think they can do it. They see the pumpkin and they say,
"Big pumpkin, it's big and it's mine, but it's stuck on the vine, and Halloween is just
But they thought about pumpkin pie, so they stepped aside. Now these people get to take the pumpkin off the vine. They pulled and they tugged and they pulled. First they pulled hard, then they pulled harder. But the pumpkin just sat. Well, what are you gonna do? Okay, bye. Well, I guess there's no pumpkin pie. Oh, there's a lot of people living on this street. Oh, I wonder who these people will be. Let's see. A pirate. A squirrel. Another pirate. And another pirate. Oh my goodness. They see the pumpkin and they say,
Big pumpkin. It's big and it's fine, but it's stuck on the vine. Halloween is hours away.
well,
We not be big, and we not be strong, but we have an idea.
so they whisper the idea.
Good idea! Good idea! Up and down, and it's a pain.
Well, the idea was to all work together. And they all did. They went to the park and they found all of the other people who tried. And they pulled. And they tugged. And they pulled. First they pulled hard. Then they pulled harder. And the pumpkin went and rolled all the way to the house. Thump, 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 thump,
There's no other reason.
What do you think you're gonna bring out?
Mommy, get me out of here, okay? No. Yes, please. No, I don't want
You see Michael's boot in there in his pocket.
Yeah.
And they all made pumpkin pie and said a poem.